The Modern Dinosaurs' Lament by Thuyen Nguyen. This is Stegosaurus. He changed his name to Steve. The social worker suggested it. Anglicize your name. Makes it easier for people to relate to you, she said. She was right. Soon after, Steve finally landed a job. Considering the unemployment rate of victims of extinction, or VOEs, was close to 90%, Steve couldn't thank his social worker enough. He even bought her a card. It wasn't delivered, though. The postman couldn't read dinosaur handwriting. The card was recycled. Steve started his new job a few weeks later. It was office work. Nothing glamorous, but it made him happy. It gave him money and, more importantly, a sense of pride. He had to wear a tie. It looked funny on him because ties weren't designed in VOE sizes. He made friends quickly, to his surprise and relief. There was Mandy, the accounts girl, Singh, who always brought in lunch from home, and JJ. He loved sport, especially F1 racing. At first, Steve thought that they were being nice to him because he was a VOE. He even thought it was pity. But he was wrong. They were really just nice people. He was afraid of how they would treat him, treat VOEs in general. His social worker once said, "Unfortunately, there are stereotypes that you'll just have to deal with." He was representing all VOEs by virtue of being one. He didn't like it, but that was the deal. So, he was always polite. He got to work on time. He stayed late. Society at large didn't accept his kind. He couldn't do anything about that. In the office, he tried. Everything was great. Until Christian arrived. Christian was a Tyrannosaurus. He was adopted into a rich family. His dad got him the job here. He had a custom-made tie. It fit him perfectly. He spoke without an accent. He was no VOE. "Hey, look! Another dino here. What's your name?" "Steve." "No, your real name." Christian made friends with the boss that afternoon. He organized a date with Mandy after work. He'd been to Singh's home country during his gap year. He drove an M3 and offered JJ a chance to test drive it. Over the following days, Steve spent more and more time alone. It was his decision to do so, he told himself. Soon after, Steve was let go. The government ended the tax break for VOE employers. Christian didn't sign his farewell card. As he left the office, Steve wondered why life was so unfair. If only he had been adopted, been rich, had a decent education, spoke well. Everyone screwed him. His employer, his fellow dinosaur, society at large. It just wasn't fair. It was nighttime. It wasn't safe for VOEs to walk the city streets alone. He was scared. "Hey." "Who said that?" Steve said. "I don't want any trouble. Please, just leave me alone." "It's time, my brother." "Time for what?" Steve asked. "Time for a revolution." Starting tonight, society would come to accept those like him and his new friend. One way or another.